What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to give my pregame thoughts for our second preseason game between our Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. Continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I stated in today's video, I do want to talk about my pregame thoughts for tonight's preseason game, our second preseason game. This game will be played at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I do think that this is going to be a great litmus test for this Atlanta Falcons team. We will finally see the starters. This is like the dress rehearsal game in the preseason for our Atlanta Falcons. So you will see Desmond Ridder. You will see Bijan Robinson make his debut with the Atlanta Falcons. And what I'll be watching in this game is to see how sharp the number one units are. First on offense, if we're able to drive down the field and score a touchdown, or drive down the field and get into field goal range. And I'll be watching to see how sharp the guys look on the offensive line. I'll be watching guys like Matthew Bergeron, who will be making his first NFL start in the preseason with the starters. It looks like he will be the starter, possibly headed into week 1 against the Panthers, because we know that Matt Hennessy went down with injury. So I want to see how well those guys block and see, is there any hiccups in the offensive line, because this is Matthew Bergeron's first time playing with the veteran group that we have up front. And he's going to be one of the keys to that offensive line, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So being that he's a rookie, he has to adjust to the speed of the game and things of that nature. So I'll be watching that closely tonight. I also will be looking at Desmond Ridder to see if he's on one accord with his wide receivers, his tight ends, and his running backs. I'm very excited to see how well these guys come out and execute. Arthur Smith did state that it's not going to be a lot of flashy plays, no reverses, no trick plays, that he just wants to see these guys go out there and execute. So I expect a very vanilla game plan, but I want to see how well these guys go out there and execute. On the defensive side of the ball, I want to see the first unit go out there and tackle well. I want to see them play with great pad level. Of course, these guys are going to attack and be aggressive, because that's what the mantra of this defense is attack and be aggressive. So I expect these guys to be very aggressive, and I want to see if they're able to duplicate what we did in week 1 with the backup guys, forcing turnovers, because that's what this season is going to be about, is takeaways. We know that pretty much all NFL games come down to the last possession or one possession games. And last year we lost a lot of one possession games. So I want to see this year if we're able to capitalize and give our offense some short fields. If we can get some interceptions, forced fumbles and things of that nature to put Desmond Ridder on a short field with that offense, I really think that I'll bode well for this Atlanta Falcons team this season. So I want to see if they can duplicate what the second and third unit did last week, where they were able to force about 4 or 5 turnovers. I am going to be watching that defensive line, that revamped defensive line. I don't know if Calais Campbell will play in this game, but I expect Grady Jarrett to play. I expect guys like Bud Dupree to play in this game. So I want to see those guys go out there and force turnovers. I want to see those guys go out there and affect the line of scrimmage and dominate the line of scrimmage, as we did against Miami with our second and third units. And then on special teams, I need to see Younghoe Koo go out there and make his extra points and make his field goals like he normally does. For whatever reason, in Miami, he missed 2 extra points, which is unlike Younghoe Koo. So I definitely want to see him, clean up some of the errors that were made last week as far as those missed field goals. And then also I want to see the return game. I don't know if they'll allow D. Alford to return punts again in this game. They might give someone else a try so they can see if they have depth on this roster as far as the punt return game. But if they do allow D. Alford to go out there and do punt return again, and he makes another big play, I think he might solidify himself as like that guy that needs to be returning punts for us, because we know he had a crucial touchdown, a punt return last week in Miami. So if he can duplicate what he did last week, either have a big return or have another return for a touchdown, then I definitely think that they're going to have to seriously look at making him that #1 guy as far as the punt return. I believe this season they'll possibly use Cordell Patterson to return kickoffs. But in the punt game, usually Cordell Patterson doesn't do punt returns. So we're still kind of looking for that guy that can do the punt returns due to Avery Williams going down with injury. But those are the main things that I'm looking at tonight. I want to see those guys go out there and execute. As Coach Arthur Smith stated, I don't want to see a lot of flags and a lot of false start penalties, holding penalties. Those are the things that you don't want to see in preseason. You don't want to go out in this game and beat yourself. I want to see guys compete at a high level. It's not necessarily about winning the game, because you're going to be playing a lot of different guys. But this is the opportunity for a lot of these guys, that backup guys, to still make this team. We still have guys that I think that are on the bubble. So I want to see if those guys can go out there and duplicate what they did last week. Godwin Mbike, I believe that's how you say his name. He played well last week at the running back position. He's going to get another opportunity. Carlos Washington in the backfield played pretty well last week. He's going to get an opportunity. I really feel like those two guys are battling it out for the 53-man roster to see who's going to be that guy that makes it. I don't think both of those guys are going to make this team. So I'll be watching those guys closely. And then you have a couple of guys that's on the fringe of making a team. Guys like Breon Borders, who played really well last week. I want to see if he can duplicate that again in the secondary and possibly get on this 53-man roster. So it's a lot of great narratives for this Atlanta Falcons team. But you guys give me your thoughts and what you think about this game coming up tonight. I definitely will be checking it out at 7:30 Eastern time tonight in Atlanta. So with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed, peace.